Dietrich,
Here.
Walter, McCarty,
Here.
Morin, Natoli, Schmidt,
Here.
Chenier, Nava,
Here.
Turner,
Here.
Warren,
Here.
Chong,
Here.
and Donald Terry, who is absent. So I believe we have a quorum.
Okay, I'll go ahead and read the statement by the chair. The meeting of the Sacramento Metro Cable Television Commission is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel, and webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. This meeting is closed caption and will be replayed Saturday, April 5th at noon on Channel 14. Members of the audience wishing to address the board shall fill out a speaker identification form located at the podium and hand it to the clerk. Commissioner Turner, could you lead us in the pledge?
My pleasure. Please stand. Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Karen, could you read the first item, please?
Yes, sir. Item number 1 is the AT&T Channel 99 U-verse PEG litigation settlement.
Okay, good, excuse me. Good afternoon, Bob Davison, your executive director. As you know, a lawsuit was filed in May of 2009 against AT&T, alleging that the Channel 99 application on its U-verse product did not meet the requirements of DIVCA. That trial started in 2012. The parties agreed to suspend the trial in 2013 to see if a settlement could be reached, and the parties, in fact, did reach deal points on a settlement in 2013, and on February 14th, a settlement and agreement was executed. And with that, I'm going to turn this presentation over to Harriet Steiner, who's going to talk about some of the deal points of the settlement.
Good afternoon. So the settlement was a settlement with all the plaintiffs, so the City of Los Angeles, Sacramento, and El Segundo. And the settlement provides for a couple of things that are of benefit, we believe, to the subscribers of Sacramento County. In particular, it creates a custom channel that will be located on Channel 14 on the U-verse system that will be the gateway to the 7 PEG channels that this commission controls and programs through our channel grantees. And so people on the U-verse system will no longer have to go through Channel 99 and scroll through all jurisdictions to get to our channels. Our channels will still be on Channel 99, but they will also be on Channel 14. And the channel licensees have been working with the Commission to do the graphics for that. The custom Channel 14 will have the same functionality as Channel 99. So unfortunately, it will have closed captioning, but unfortunately it will not be able to DVR because the programming will not show up on the electronic guide. The settlement agreement also provides for a most favored nations clause so that if AT&T offers channels to any other local government in the country, they would have to also offer whatever it is they offered to Los Angeles and to Sacramento on the same terms. The settlement also provides for a process so we can come up with locations where we would be able to monitor Channel 99 so that we would know when there were outages and we can get hopefully better response for the outages being corrected. And in addition to that, AT&T paid the 3 parties $750,000 towards their attorney's fees. So that's basically the settlement. There's also a custom channel agreement, and that agreement talks about how the channels will operate, and that the channels will operate this, in the same manner as Channel 99, and that if Channel 99 is upgraded, our custom channel will automatically be upgraded. We have the custom channel for excuse me, approximately 10 years without any annual fees. After that, the parties will sit down and determine whether the commission still wants the custom channel, and if so, whether there would be any operating annual recurring charges.
Okay, does anybody have any questions of Harriet? Well, Harriet, thanks for all your hard work on this. I know this was a long process, and the commission spent quite a bit of money and time on this, and it's nice to get this behind us. It's not exactly what we wanted, but it's about as close as we were going to be able to get without potential years and years of litigation. Thanks again for all the work on that.
Thank you.
So this is just a receive and file for the board on the AT&T Channel 99 versus PEG litigation settlement report. There's no action required by the board on this. Karen, can you read the next item, please?
Item number 2 is the review of franchise and PIC fees remitted by Comcast Communications for the period January 1st, 2011 through December 31st, 2012.
Okay, good afternoon. As you know, we audit the revenues received from the cable and video providers on a biennial basis. And so Alan Montre, who's the county auditor with the Department of Finance, has performed an audit of Comcast, and we have that review before you today. Basically, the audit came up clean with the exception of 2 findings. One finding was that that the PEG fees and franchise fees were not paid upon the PEG fees collected, and since the franchise fees and PEG fees are passed through to the customers, that is actually revenue that goes to the cable company, and franchise and PEG fees should be paid on the monies. So that is a finding in the audit, and I think the amount of that was about $193,000 for the general fund, and about I think about $30,000 for the PEG fees. There was one other finding, and this is an issue that came to your board before, but Comcast is deducting CPUC fees that they pay on an annual basis to the Public Utilities Commission. Like I said, this matter was brought to your board before. We notified Comcast that we thought that they should not be doing that. This item actually is being taken up by other entities in California, and that issue is being vetted out, but at this point in time, there has been no resolution. So those were the 2 findings in the audit. We plan to bill Comcast for these amounts, and with that, I'll certainly answer any questions that you might have.
Are there any questions for Bob? Okay, thank you, Bob. This again is a receive and file to the board. No further actions required. Karen, can we go to item 3, please?
Item number 3 is the announcement of the Time Warner Cable merger with Comcast Corporation.
This is an announcement that you've probably seen in the media, and probably each of you board members have probably received notification. But the Cable Commission received an announcement that Time Warner is merging with Comcast, and Phil Arndt, the Comcast Directors of Affairs, sent that notice to us. Both companies have approved a definitive agreement for this merger. The merger is subject to shareholder approval. It's expected that this will close at the end of 2014. With the adoption of DIVCA, the cable providers migrating from local franchises to state franchises, the Commission has very limited authority to review any cable company mergers. And with that, this is a receive and file report.
Okay, thank you. And Philip's in the audience. Philip, thank you for sending us ahead of time the heads up on that so we didn't get blindsided before it went out to the media and everybody else.
We have received one complaint from a customer in relation to the proposed merger.
But it's not something that's actionable for the board, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Next item.
Next item is resolution number 2014-001. It authorizes the issuance of a subpoena related to a review of fees paid by AT&T.
Okay, we just discussed the Comcast audit. The county auditor is also now preparing to do the audit of AT&T. We have, through Best Best and Krieger, have entered into an agreement with a company that's going to provide services that is going to look at revenues from AT&T and how AT&T is bundling their services. It happens to be that this other firm has found findings in other areas, and so they're going to perform an analysis of 2012 and 2013 revenues to the commission from AT&T. From that review, that's going to provide information to our auditor, so when our audit is completed of AT&T, we'll be looking into that issues for which findings have been found in other jurisdictions, and the thought is that there may be similar findings in our jurisdiction. So we've retained this firm to do this analysis, but as we know, when we've worked with AT&T in the past, that they've always required a subpoena in order to have these reviews be done. And so today's item is simply to request your commission to approve a subpoena for this item.
Eric, did you have anything additional you wanted to add on that?
Only that we would issue the subpoena only after a discussion with AT&T on whether they needed it in order to release the records that we need. So this is routine. We do this routinely with when the board meets to have the authorization for a subpoena.
Yeah, I recall doing this several times in the past. Any questions? Do we have a motion to accept the resolution?
Second.
Let's have a motion and second. Karen, can you put voting up on the screen, please? Everybody can vote on screen.
Close and this
Okay, it looks like we have a
Count.
unanimous vote. Motion carries. Next item, please.
Item number 5 is resolution number 2014-002, which approves the second addendum to the BestNet Phase 2 construction and maintenance agreement.
Okay, thank you. As your commission is aware, in October 20th of 2006, the commission entered into an agreement with Comcast, the Sacramento Educational Cable Consortium, and also representing participating school districts for what we call the BestNet Phase 2 agreement. The agreement was also amended in 2011, but this agreement provided for the connectivity of the BestNet iNet to district offices, high school, middle schools, and then with its amendment, elementary schools within the Sacramento area. Your commission also provided in 3-year increments $1.3 million a year starting in 2006 to fund this effort. Most of this construction has occurred. Most of these connections have been made. There's about just under $90,000 remaining in that fund. And actually, we've earmarked that in the budget for a connection to the Twin Rivers School District. But also part of that agreement was a contingency fund for contingency items that could have come up during construction. The agreement as currently worded says that after 3 years after the construction is over is that the SCCC would remit any remaining funds back to the commission. So SCCC has submitted a proposal, and the proposal is related to 2 items. The first is they're requesting that this contingency fund be retained so that it may be used for new or replacement equipment and facilities that benefit the BestNet network. And just for your information, there's about $228,000 in that fund. And the second proposal is like I said, there's just under $90,000 that hasn't been spent on the BestNet Phase 2 project. That has carried forward in the past few budgets, and like I said, it was earmarked for Twin Rivers. There's complications to providing the service to the Twin Rivers School, but the SCCC, working with its partners, would like to, rather than use that money for Twin Rivers, use it for the Cosumnes River College Elk Grove Center, and then the Los Rios Community College District building located on Tribute Road in Sacramento. The Twin Rivers doesn't object to this proposal, and it seems with these last 2 connections, then this would pretty much end the funding of the BestNet project, and what little money there is remaining after that would revert back to the commission's budget. general fund budget. And with that, I can certainly answer any questions, and I think Liz Rhodes is here as
Commissioner
well.
Warren has a question.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hi.
Hi, Bob. I think I understand why we're redirecting funds from Twin Rivers, but I want to make sure that there's going to be an opportunity to get Twin Rivers back on the schedule. And so, can you elaborate just a little bit?
Yeah, I would prefer maybe that Liz Rhodes, who's had the direct discussion with the school districts, maybe come up to the podium and answer that question.
If there's no other questions for Bob, Liz is our only speaker signed up.
Oh,
Is there any other questions? Okay, so we'll open public comment. Liz, would you like to come up and do your spiel as well as answer that question?
Yes, I would like to come do my spiel. Thank you. I'm Liz Rhodes, Executive Director of SECC. In regard to your question, sir, Twin Rivers is already connected, and we have found a different solution for them. This is for their new district office, which is on the base. And the problem is it was an absolute nightmare. There's no available conduit, and to bore and create any kind of new connection to the specific location where that district office is just wasn't going to happen within the foreseeable future. There's even businesses out there that cannot be connected. So the conversation with Twin Rivers had to do not so much with was that district office connected, but how it was going to be connected. And it cannot be connected with the Comcast fiber just because there's no way to get that fiber into the building. So that's why Twin Rivers agreed to this, because Los Rios had a need for their connectivity. But the district office is connected. It's just not with the BestNet Comcast fiber. Does that answer your question?
It does. It just begs the question of how did they get on the list initially? And so,
we hoped, and the idea was that eventually that would happen. It's just that when you got to the point where it was impossible because of the asbestos and everything else out there to make this happen, where it became an impossibility, we had to go a different route. The other thing I will add is that where the district office is, since that's a newer facility.
and that's in the county, actually, right?
Yeah, it's out there
on the Air Force Base.
On the base, right.
Right.
So there also is off of Dudley, there, which used to be that their technology center is in a different building. That's connected to BestNet, and that's connected to BestNet through what used to be a Sure West connection. So there is connectivity to the district. It's just that one hop from Dudley down to that other building, and I don't have the address of it on the top of my head. But where they have all the
I know
bays
where
and
it is,
everything,
sure.
right by the tower, yeah. It's that connectivity could not happen with that fiber that we had hoped would be part of the BestNet, and it was just that last hanging piece that just isn't going to happen. But they are connected. They're just not connected with the Comcast fiber.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you.
Okay. And my other spiel was simply BestNet is so important to the schools, and what we have here in Sacramento is phenomenal. Where other communities are struggling with Common Core and the new Smarter Balance, Sacramento is in such a unique situation because of your foresight and because of what Comcast and Sure West have done, for our schools, that we do not have the connection issues that many other districts and many other communities are dealing with. And what it is doing in terms of instruction and the connectivity to the broader world is incredible. And I just want to say this is so amazing, and then to be able to be in a situation where potentially there's some funding sitting there for the refresh of the network and strictly for hardware is just unheard of anywhere else in the nation. And Sacramento is so blessed to have that. And we very, very much appreciate your support and hope that you pass on. And I also wanted to say a huge thank you to Harriet and to Bob and to Karen for working on this. This has been, the whole thing has been very challenging, and these guys have been great, and I appreciate having the ability to work with them. So thank you for supporting us on this.
Thanks, Liz, for all that you do to make this happen in the Sacramento region here, to bring education at elementary, middle, and high school, now in college, coordinating all that. Just takes us to the next level.
It's exciting,
you know, it's
isn't it? I mean,
fantastic.
it's just something you can sit there and go, wow, you know,
And one-
with the partnerships in this room, you know, we've done it.
And one thing you never lack is enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. So
Thank you. Okay, so we can go to deliberations. Anybody ever have any comments, or somebody want to make a motion?
Before we make a motion, I do have one comment just regarding the possibility of seeing what we've been able to do through this consortium. Is there a possibility of a tour or maybe a presentation on your part so we can kind of connect the dots in terms of what's happening out there in the field, in terms of what we're ruling on up here?
Liz is shaking her head yes, that she'll coordinate that through Bob and Karen.
Actually, we do have a tour scheduled already for staff in May.
Is it possible to be
Sure,
part of
yes.
that?
Mhm.
Okay.
I would suggest that certainly we can extend that invite to any board member that would like to come along to that tour, and I'm sure that Liz would be willing to schedule others as well, because I'm sure everybody won't be able to make the May tour. I also think that a future agenda item on having a presentation on the good that BestNet has done would be great. I mean, I know we've had such presentations in the past, but it has been a while, and since we're really just completing the funding of that effort now, I think the timing would be right for that.
That's perfect.
Maybe not June, just because June tends to be a busy meeting, but maybe the meeting after that.
Do we have an agreement for bring that back from the board?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
make it happen.
we will make it happen.
Okay, so did we have a motion?
Chair, I'll make the motion to move this item.
Is there a second?
Second.
Have a motion and second. If you can please vote on the screen. And your tabulation's in? We have 6 yes votes, so we must have missed somebody. That's all right. We got a majority vote
I
anyway.
need to clear and cancel the vote first on correct? I do? Okay. Okay, please vote again.
You need to put it up. There we go.
There you go.
Thanks, Howard.
Okay.
Okay,
Everybody
can I
voted?
close now?
Technology
Okay.
challenge.
Well, we got 7. We had 8 last time, so we
Yes,
must be
we were
missing one
still
short.
missing one?
Yeah. That's fine, it passes anyway.
Okay,
Okay. Was your vote, though? Abstain?
That's fine, let's
Okay.
move on.
okay.
Okay.
All right, we have 7 votes, and motion or the item passes. Let's go to the next item.
Oops. Next item is item number 6, a report from our general manager.
So I'm going to talk about several items briefly. General Administration Staff Report. First, I just want to talk about several measures that we've been undertaking to enhance the image of Metro Cable 14. As you can see, and with our new technology, we have a new logo, and it's appearing up on the screen there. Also, before I talk about the logo, Joe, can you come up for a second? So Joe is wearing our new Metro Cable shirts. On the shirt is the new logo. Probably easier to see up there than down there. But pretty much all of our production assistants, when they're working meetings, are going to be wearing shirts just like that. So there's going to be more of a professional appearance. And when a meeting is being filmed, it's going to be obvious who's working for Metro Cable, or when they're fixing various things, filming the meetings and walking in and out. Everybody's going to know who that they are. So thank you, Joe. Second, very proud of the logo. We didn't hire a company or a consultant to do an expensive logo for us. This logo is homegrown. I want to point out Rob Cannon. Can you stand up, Rob? Rob is one of our production assistants. It's nice that you have talent on your staff. And Rob came up with this logo. He actually came up with a lot of concepts. Many concepts, and a lot of them look good. Some are kind of wild, too, but very artistic, and we appreciate Rob and the work he put in on that. But so we want to thank you for that, Rob, and we just wanted to introduce your board to the new Metro Cable logo.
Perfect.
Stick with it, Rob, because people get paid a lot of money to come up with logos like that for public agencies.
If I were a betting man, his artistic ability is rather amazing, and so I could see good things in the future for him. This is our Metro Cable van, so with a new logo. We decided to upgrade the van a little bit. It's now obvious that this van is for Metro Cable. So when it's parked near buildings and in alleyways or wherever we have to film something, you know, we're not going to get calls to the police or anything. It's, I think, going to be pretty obvious what we're doing. And we got a little bit of advertising on top of that to boot. And then that's the back of the van. And I want to thank Craig for coordinating that. This was a very inexpensive modification. Was not that costly at all. And another thing that I'm kind of proud of, first of all, we're working with member agencies to, some member agencies have expressed that they want to give us more content, and not a lot of content has come yet, but we know the County of Sacramento and Elk Grove for sure are working on things that they're going to hand off to us, and I think some others are, the City of Sacramento mentioned that they have an interest as well. So we are very willing to run any content from the member agencies. Actually, the sanitation district just gave us a video on the treatment plant. That's about 15 minutes, and we're running that. The waste management department has given us a public service item that we're running as well. So the more locally produced member agency content we can put on, we are very happy to do so. We certainly run our meetings. We have our live meetings and our rebroadcasts, but in between, and especially when meetings don't run as long as they could, there is a lot of time to fill in between. And we have various programming for that, but the more programs of local member agency content, we are certainly willing to run that. And I think you're going to be seeing more of that on Metro Cable. Another thing that I'm very happy to talk about, and David Lowe isn't here today, and maybe we can thank him at the next meeting, but we entered into an MOU where basically for free, KVIE is going to lend us some of their locally produced programming. They can't give us programming that runs on PBS that's not locally produced, but for free they're allowing us to use some of the programs. And so already we've been running some of the KVIE produced programs, and you might have seen that. Briefly, if this works, the next slide's going to show you a little video of one of the shows that we have been running. So we're not running Downtown Abbey on Metro Cable.
Was this done by a drone by any chance? Or do you know? I mean, this looks like drone technology from the air.
I do not know, and David Lowe, we can have him answer that question at the next meeting. So that program is called Above Sacramento. That's a shorter program, and it's something that we can fit in when we have small spaces. It's also a program that we can cut in and out of and not cause problems. Some of the other things that they've lent to us, because they've at least given us 10 to 20 programs already. Arts Alive, which features Second Saturday in Sacramento. Rob on the Road, and specifically the episode called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, where they featured the Sacramento airport. And Studio Sacramento, the episode called What Sacramento Can Learn from Philadelphia, and that episode chronicled the recent Sacramento delegation that went to Philadelphia. So those are just 3 examples of what we're putting on. But KVIE was very gracious in entering into this MOU with us. It's at no cost, and my staff worked with them to figure out there were some technical bugs that needed to be figured out so we can actually get their shows and show them on Metro and have them look good. And we're there now, and we're running those, and I just think it's an improvement to what we're already offering. So I just wanted to make your board aware of that.
Well, that's great. I think the branding concept is very important. I don't think Joe has any competition for Vanna White, but he did a good job. And Rob, that's, if nothing else, is resume building. So keep up the good work. Any questions for Bob or anybody else? Okay, so that's just a receive, and we'll go to the next item.
Okay, have a few more things. This is a time of year that we put out a letter for PEG funding request. We copied most of the board members here, but we did send emails, and I don't know if we're going to send hard copy letters, but we sent emails to the member agencies announcing that they can submit their PEG request. We also sent such letters to the channel licensees. The PEG fee's been around since '09 now, so this is becoming an annual process. So I think this year this is becoming, it's not something that's a surprise that people are getting, but just, okay, this is the annual time that you need to submit your PEG request in, and we will consider those at the June budget meeting. So certainly wanted to let you know that those emails went out and those PEG requests should be coming in. And people have not been shy of submitting a request to us in the past, so I'm assuming that we're going to get a lot of requests this year again. Want to report to you that there is a branding change for Sure West. I know that certainly we've been working with Sure West for years, and as you know that they were bought by another company, but so far they've kept the Sure West branding. But Consolidated Communications is basically making a marketing decision to have a nationwide brand, and so the Sure West name will be changing to Consolidation Communications. We believe that's going to happen in July. They've got to go through some processes that involves a fictitious business name statement, and they have a final name. A final formal name change will be initiated later this year, which requires filing with the California Secretary of State's office. So just wanted to apprise you of that. I know Sure West has been a name that we've all known and worked with for all these years, but for now on it'll be called Consolidated Communications.
Okay, thanks, Bob. So I'll invite any of the state franchisees that would like to come up and speak. I don't see anybody here from AT&T. I see Comcast. Did you want to come up and say anything, Philip?
You don't have to. The only thing I will add, or actually I'll say, is about a month ago we released our Internet Essential report to the FCC. And as you may recall, that's our effort to get more low-income families connected to the Internet by offering high-speed Internet for $9.95 to families who have children who are either on the free or reduced lunch program, plus an opportunity to get a computer and computer training. And I just wanted to let you know that in the Sacramento area, especially in this region, it continues to be one of the top performing areas, not only in Northern California in the Comcast footprint, but throughout the country. And California as a region is one of the top regions in the country in terms of getting families to sign up for the internet. And we really have a number of anecdotal stories from families that it's really made a difference in terms of getting their family, their children connected to the internet, and the help it's had with school and job searches, but really around education. As we often stated, more and more schools and the education system is going is relying on computers, and Common Core is one of the examples of that. And for children who go home and don't have the access to the computer and to the internet, and now that they do, it really makes a big difference. And so if you like, I can, and I think I might have shared something with the commission that might have been sent out, but it's just a quick update that the program, after now 3 years, is really a success. And one of the things that we did announce is that, because there was a 3-year period to it, but now it's been extended indefinitely. So this is really going to be part of the Comcast suite, I guess, of offerings. The Internet Essentials program. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you, Philip. Okay, Karen, next item.
Next item is item number 8, which is reports from channel licensees. Liz?
Okay, so the only speaker we have signed up for this is Liz Rhodes again. Liz, come on up.
Liz Rhodes again. Just one quick thing, since we already talked about BestNet. We're going to be having our annual SIVA Award Night, and I have invitations for you if you could have the opportunity to come and see what our students are doing, what your students are doing. I think you'll be amazed. We had over 400 entries, which makes this one of the largest video competitions in the state of California. It actually exceeds the number of entries for the statewide competition. And what is the two really exciting things for me on this are that, number one, we only accept videos that are educational in nature. So we don't get the snowboarding videos and the skateboarding videos. The idea behind it is strictly based on the curriculum and the power of what the student media is all about, and getting kids to become media literate. And if you can see some of the things that those students produce, it is amazing. And the reason for me that I want to share that with you is that one of the things that you funded with your PEG fees last year are two what we call SIVA labs. One of them is at Fern-Bacon Elementary, and another one is at Taylor. Both of those facilities are up and running, and I have a short video to show you the impact of what, especially the one at Fern-Bacon was. They had an open house that you were all invited to. But if we could look at this video, just give you an overview of the power and what's happening in our schools because of the opportunities we have with the PEG fees and the channels. So if you guys could do your magic and roll that. I don't even know, is it roll tape nowadays or hit the button or? There it is.
There we go.
Welcome to our brand new SIVA studio.
This week we have an exciting for me.
The Star Academy began last year.
It's amazing on so many different levels. It has really allowed our urban students to connect to the world.
We use the studio to create our weekly school news broadcast.
We use the studio to film our PSA,
Our documentaries,
and our how-to video.
They've created projects that have been meaningful to them. They have been able to use media to make claims and arguments.
They're much more independent, so they don't ask me as much for help, that they go and find the information or work with each other, learning how to collaborate, and then just the whole process of the writing, and then if they don't like it, going back and they have to figure out then how to fix it. And so just that critical thinking process has been huge.
They're bringing projects to life through media, so it's been really, really powerful.
Especially now with Common Core, that technology is so important.
It's a privilege because not everybody get to touch high-tech technology.
Oh, it's great equipment, everything. I look forward coming every day.
We're just so thankful that SIVA has been here. It's really opened our students opportunities, and they don't usually get these opportunities in urban schools, and it's been wonderful. So we are very appreciative, and we plan to really utilize these resources in every capacity possible.
Thank you for this amazing opportunity.
And they would have all come down here today to say thank you, so this is their way of doing it. You put in $30,000, which bought all of the equipment. The school district paid for the installation of that equipment, and they took this old room that was just totally depressing and renovated it. Actually, it's 2 rooms, and it is an absolute model. So it's rejuvenated the school. At the open house, they had the school band come and play. And the parents came in, and the parents were absolutely astounded, the outreach that they're doing to the community. And so what I'm saying is, just for that $30,000 that you put in, that starter fee, that fees that kind of leveraged the rest of the school to become a part of this, it's really breathed new life. And I know that Bob is going to go out and tour the facility in May, and I would just encourage the rest of you, when you have an opportunity, to go out and see the really amazing good things that you're doing. It has made all the difference to these students. The only complaint I got was from a mom who came over and grabbed me and did this little thing with the finger in my face. And her concern was that was great that we did this for Fern-Bacon, but she had another daughter that was at Luther Burbank, and what were we doing for Luther Burbank? So my challenge, which you will be receiving for PEG fees for next year, but is how do we expand this and how do we reach out and make these opportunities available to all of our schools? But thank you very much. I'm just absolutely excited and thrilled that we're getting this kind of response and amazing, amazing videos, from these students that they're really, really making an impact in their lives. So thank
Liz,
you.
we have at Folks Ranch School in Elk Grove, phenomenal teacher, Jim Brentley, I think is his last name.
Bentley, yes.
And they've done several videos. They did one over, we have a brand new household hazardous waste facility, and they started before the facility broke ground and tied in all the phases of construction and then took back what recycling means. And the kids, they do all the video, the speaking parts, the editing, and the whole production under the supervision of their teacher, which is phenomenal. And then just recently they rolled out another one that we just started, the Elk Grove Community Exchange, which is linking people and landowners and the food bank and produce distributors and linking everybody together to try to give opportunities where right now 40% of food goes in the trash. So it's able to link the people that are producing that have leftover stuff that either they can sell it at a discount or give it away. And these kids went out and produced a video on it to help market it. So it's pretty phenomenal. And the exposure that these are elementary kids now getting an opportunity, and they came and spoke at our council, and I told them, you have no idea the opportunity you're being given and the education you're giving that you're not going to realize till you're probably in college what you were given in elementary school. So I applaud all that you're able to do and get out there in the community like that.
Well, and I'm glad to hear that, in that Jim is actually working with teacher Julie that you saw on the video. She went down to visit his school because Folks Ranch is absolutely incredible and amazing. And Jim has been out there to help the other teachers. And so that's the other incredible thing, that we're seeing here in Sacramento that is not common in other communities, where we have teachers working between districts, that have these ideas, and the importance of the kids realizing, the students realizing that they can produce, these important videos and get them out into the community on the cable channels and make a difference in the community. And that's actually what we're all about, is educating those kids to become, citizens, really good citizens. And I think this is just a big help. And yeah, we're very excited about Jim and what he's doing. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item.
Last item is public comments.
Okay, we have nobody signed up for public comment, and I don't see anybody running to the podium, so we'll close that item and go to the last item here, which is adjournment of the meeting, it looks like, huh? So we'll adjourn, unless there's any comments. You want to announce the next meeting date?
Would be our June annual budget hearing, and that's scheduled for June 5th, I believe, right? That's in our notes here.
Yes,
Okay.
June 5th, 2:30.
So June 5th, same time, same place?
Same time, same place.
We can do that.
Same channel 14.
The new Channel
Okay.
14.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adjourn.